Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today is going to be a very exciting video that I can't wait to watch myself, specifically because I just pulled my own Hulkling. I have yet to rank him up, but Ankit was ahead of me. He got Hulkling on day 1 of the featured crystals dropping and took his Hulkling all the way up to rank 4. As always, he sent over the video gameplay through Evzone, and if you do want to get in touch with me or submit your own gameplay, reach out to me via Evzone. All the links in the video description. Super amazing service, easy to use, great for file transfer and messaging. So yeah, check out the link in the video description below. Also, I'll leave a link to Ankit's channel as well, as he also does YouTube uploads. But let's start watching this behemoth of a compilation. So this first one is going to be just kind of like a damage showcase of Hulkling with and without synergies. One of the coolest things about Hulkling is that his damage increases significantly for each buff that he has. So just putting Odin's pre-fights on this guy significantly increases the amount of damage you can get out of Hulkling. Especially if you do it gradually now with Valkyrie's synergy. Is even cooler. But here we can see that just going for a fresh level 2, that level 2 there without any kind of real setup was already like 60k, only half of it critting as well. And throughout this video you're gonna notice Ankit taking some hits to the face on purpose, and that is just so he can increase his damage output, because of the regeneration that Hulkling is getting. He's hardly taking any damage, especially if, you know, there's some bleed inflicted, let's say, whilst the indestructible is active. And that's one of the things that a lot of people have noticed, especially like when I had to face Hulkling in Battlegrounds. Unless you do have a suitable counter, it's quite hard to get this guy down, because he regenerates and goes indestructible all the time, and he can be quite frustrating to go up against as well. And this is going to be quite a good showcase. Obviously that Winter Soldier is getting smacked left, right and center, and this at the moment is unawakened Hulkling. He has since duped him, but that also means that his like fury duration is shorter, for instance, than it could be. Here we can see that Hulkling does have very solid damage output. It's not necessarily the craziest damage output. I have noticed that Ankit does make one slight mistake, that he could be speeding up this fight. When he's dropping his level 2, he always makes sure that he is unblockable before he uses the level 2, but you can throw your level 2 even if you're like 1 or 2 charges short, because during the special attack you generate charges, and if you're throwing it in the block, you're going to go unblockable during the special attack and you're still going to get your second fury. Here, the main thing that I wanted to show though as well was that, you know, the hit count obviously is going to be quite small. The fight time wasn't the fastest, but what was so cool about it, he ate like 14 hits and he finished at 94% health. So 1 minute 50, and now we're gonna see Hulkling with some synergies active, and he immediately starts from the very get-go hitting quite hard for a champion that's not running Liquid Courage double edge. No boost there active either. He's definitely putting in much more work. That Intimidate debuff is obviously also quite handy, helping out. Like at this position he actually could have thrown that level 2 in the block there, and he would have went unblockable during the special attack, and he still would have gotten the 2 furies. Now he's going to eat level 2 to the face, but check that out. He gets 4 regeneration buffs up there that are basically just covering all the damage, and if he gets hit much any further than that, he's just going to go indestructible at some point as well, which is one of the kind of, I think, underestimated abilities of Hulkling already. And now he's going for another level 2, 3, none of those hits crit, but all of them still hit for 18,000. So that single level 2 was close to 80,000, 75,000, something like that. And that's like the worst case scenario. So there is definitely a lot of damage. I personally can't wait to try out Hulkling in Battlegrounds, especially 100%. I have a feeling he's going to be an absolute monster, especially dealing with some pesky pennies and stuff. And here, that's going to be pretty much it for this fight. We can see 228k crits as well. And yeah, the Winter Soldier is down even quicker than that. Now, this time around, though, he put on some cosmic power boosts, and that obviously is going to increase the fight speed quite significantly. The standard rotation of Hulkling is kind of, I think, about as simple as it can get for such a complex character. You'd want to drop like a combo in opponent's face in order to build up some power, get your aptitudes. Then at some point you want to just kind of slow play a little bit, drop your heavy attack, and hit opponent's block to get your pierce buffs, and drop your special attack whilst you're unblockable. You don't really need level 1s. You can just kind of like slow the fight down slightly, and you can just avoid having to throw those level 1s, in my opinion, which is probably the most common rotation he's going to be used. Here we can see that Rhino is getting absolutely shredded there with that cosmic power boost. Is hitting harder and harder, and another special attack, and the job's done. Obviously, Cosmic Class does have some other extremely hard hitters. Hulkling, I also think, is fairly unique in the sense of how he distributes his damage, because he does a ton of damage through block and also with regular hits. And then all of the other additional pieces of utility that he has, immunities to power control and his generic immunities, access to a ton of buffs. I just do think that there is definitely a certain level of value to that, and that he's going to become, you know, kind of like a mainstream champion quite early on. Now he's attempting to out-damage Realm of Legends Wolverine without help of Despair in any degree, really. And here we can see he's just going to basically level 2 spam, and regeneration there is quite potent on Wolvie, but so is the damage Hulkling is doing. So he activates his Intimidate. Sweet. He has gone unblockable. He has his 4 aptitudes, so he gets the 2 Furies with like the max potency. Gets back 2 bars of power there quite easily. Just waited there slowly to build up some more charges, but it kind of backfired again. I probably would have thrown that special 2 in a block. I think that's one of the most important things that people will learn quite quickly, is that you can throw your special attack kind of like earlier, even though you're not still unblockable, and as your special attacks as level 2 is hitting the opponent's block, you're gonna go unblockable midway through and still get your second Fury. Right, and now this fight is, I think, against Hulk. We can just kind of bypass it, but this is very cool. So the next fight on the menu here is Eternity of Pain Bishop. So when tomorrow we're going to have to do a run through this entire thing, we know that Hulkling can definitely be used for this bishop as well, and we're going to see exactly how he does. Because in this fight, it's kind of very useful if you can push bishop to, obviously, 2 bars of power, and then on top of all of that, if you can gain power through hitting opponent's block, plus the node that you gain more power, it's going to let you access quite a lot of special attacks fairly quickly. Now there he did eat a bit of level 2 in the face, but that's quite alright, because he does get also a significant portion of health back right there. Here he goes for level 1, level 2, no problem. Bishop at this point is at 70-some%. He pushed him to level 2, goes for level 1. And now Bishop is going for his level 2, need to dex that one, fair play. And now he just needs to build up to his level 2, obviously, due to that special alternate node. I always forget how that node is called in kind of like a spur of the moment. But here we can see that the bishop is definitely going down fairly quickly. This fight doesn't seem like an Eternity of Pain fight, is what I'm trying to say. He's chomping that bishop down very effectively, I'd say. The key, obviously, is being able to avoid those level 2s. There are some champions like Hulkbuster where you could completely avoid having to bait out any special attacks from bishop, and that's why it was so easy. But Hulkling, as long as you can evade that level 2, is going to get the job done here extremely quickly as well. With that help of Intimidate debuff, you're going to have easier time pushing bishop to special 2s as well, which is awesome. Now at this point, I think he just needs to get his level 2 and the job is done. And yeah, the fight didn't last all that long at all, did it? Let's take a look at the post-fight stats. 81 hits under 2 minutes, so not bad at all. And here he is going to showcase the utility against Static Blast and Typhoon. The base idea is that he should be losing power quite quickly and taking a burst of damage once that Typhoon activates. And here he's kind of like purposely slow playing the entire fight, just to show that it stays at 10 and nothing really is happening to him. He didn't take any bursts of damage. Now we have EMP modification as well, which this is going to be quite cool. because he can basically just nuke down Act 6 opponents now at the rank 4 anyways, before they have a chance really to do anything. So here we can see that he slowly builds himself up. He goes for a heavy attack. And thanks to the Intimidate debuff there kind of being very passive, he gets his unblockable here. Sweet. A quick parry in there. Drops his level 2, and that's it. No more Skull Twitch in Act 6. 20 hits, 23 seconds, and that's an Act 6 opponent. So this is what I mean when I think Hulkling does have an amazing damage output for kind of like a moderate length fights, because I do think, you know, there are obviously champions who ramp up, who can exceed Hulkling's damage, but that's not important in 90% of the fights that you do in the contest. They have, you know, fairly limited health pools, and here we can see again, same sets of nodes, and opponent doesn't even get to use a special attack for you to need to worry about anything there. You just kind of like nuke them in with a single level 2, and the fight is over without many problems to deal with. Now, Superior Iron Man, I have not seen these final fights here, so these I'm watching in real time as well. It's a combo from Superior Iron Man, but at the same time, you know, that just helps him get to level 2 quicker. Sometimes it's always part of the plan. Do we still remember when it used to be kind of like a standard saying when you get hit in the face, it's like, I wanted to get in courage range? I used to remember that being much bigger thing than it is right now. When you lose half of your health by eating a combo, and it's like, I just wanted that courage damage. But anyways, here we can definitely see that Superior Iron Man being absolutely nuked down without issues. Just another level 2, sweet, and no more Superior Iron Man. And this one, I believe, was Act 7 fight and health pool. So we can see that the opponents here are significantly chunkier at 73k health pools. And one of the things that, yeah, definitely needs some getting used to when you're using Hulkling is that sometimes you just need to kind of slow down a bit, let your charges build up. Obviously, if you do want to, you can throw level 1, and then you pretty much will not have that problem by the time you're baiting out opponent's special attack. You will have reached maximum charges or something. But you don't really have to use that level 1, because those charges are generating, I'd say, quickly enough. Yeah, here we can see that Dr. Octopus, well, he did throw that special attack a bit too quickly. Here he's pushing his luck by keeping that Dr. Octopus at rank 3. It's one of the things that I have noticed with Ankit in general is that he likes testing his luck when it comes to pushing opponents level 3. And now he eats a level 3 from Doc Ock and gets smacked in the face. He could have survived that one as well. That regen would have covered significant amount of damage. But yeah, sometimes it doesn't pay off. And now, obviously, Hulkling, just like newly released Valkyrie, just like Corvus, just like Karnak and Massacre, it's also a very good invade champion. It seems like we're getting more and more of these guys that do stuff through block. And so here he's going to activate his invade. Sweet. Intimidate debuff. And then gets his Pierce buffs active. Obviously, once he's unblockable, he can't exactly hit opponent's block. But now we can see him dealing quite a lot of damage through that block. And yeah, that's one dead Iron Man. So I don't think, though, if I would necessarily 100% characterize Hulkling as an invade champion or the go-to option for invade, because yeah, because of the unblockable, you will be pushing through the opponent's block. So I do think that specifically for invade nodes, champions like Corvus and champions like Valkyrie and Massacre are probably the better options. Even though, obviously, Hulkling does have plenty of kind of like power and use in a situation such as this. And even if you don't get that invade bonus, obviously, the dude just eats another special 3. What the hell, man? Like, how many of these? And he didn't even get the regen buff. Shameful. Shameful. Does need to get this fight to a finish, though. Come on, lad. Come on. Can't use any special attacks for the remainder of the fight. Well, there we go. Did finish that one up at least. And this one is the next fight. One parry. One parry took 13% health there. Even through that bulwark that he got. But okay, fine. Just deal with that X23. Show us what you got. Now, this is what you want to see in Champion Showcase, right? It's do or die time. It's absolutely do or die. 2% health, a single hit in a block, and Hulkling is dead. But obviously, if you never get hit in a block, there's no problem there. That was a very quick fight, though, I must admit. That fight was like 20 hits only. Cosmic Fracture, Tactical Recycling. Okay, this is going to be stupid, probably, because this is going to be one of those winky-dink nodes where Cosmic Champions just go burr with ridiculous amounts of damage, inflicting armor breaks on your like light hits and just getting stupid amounts of damage. There are a ton of Cosmic Champions that can go absolutely crazy on these. Okay, so let's see how he approaches this. He goes unblockable, sweet. Now he just wants to drop his level 2. Nice, 25k, 25k, 24, and 23k non-crit. So that was a 100k special too, even though like none of it crit. That is definitely quite a lot of damage output there. He does need to get rid of some of those armor ups though, for sure. Come on. Well, there we go then. Finish it up with an obviously massively excessive level 2. And is this the same one against She-Hulk? Against She-Hulk, it should be fine. She doesn't do anything too specific against Cosmics. I mean, she does get attack rating based on each buff, and he's going to be getting a ton of buffs, but it shouldn't matter that much. Mutants are typically the ones that you want to be careful using against She-Hulk because your special attack abilities fail. Still such a simple, old, but occasionally nasty ability. He drops his level 2 again. Sweet. Gets his 2 Furies. No problem. And let's see how long is She-Hulk. That was a 22k medium there, which isn't bad at all, I must say. Come on then. He can drop his heavy to get in his 4 hits in the block. Sweet. And then he gets hit in the face. Obviously, can't do without that. And that's just a nasty, nasty level 2 there to finish the fight off. And mandatory Penny matchup here. Obviously, Hulkling is pretty much a hard counter to Penny in every single meaningful way. There's absolutely nothing that Penny can do to Hulkling, which I kind of find funny. So, yeah, she auto-blocks, you don't care. She tries to power burn you, you don't care. You can immediately get her shield down thanks to your pierce and, you know, mega damage in the block. Then on top of it, you also have unblockable and everything else. So it's kind of unfair a bit when you use Hulkling against Penny, I would say. Just look at that. It's a massive Penny Parker. I can't wait to use Hulkling against Penny Parker in Battlegrounds. I really can't. I'm super happy that I managed to finally pull Hulkling on my own account. Now I'm just hunting for Scorpion in the new featured crystal. That was just a filthy takedown now. I got Suffocation, Cosmic Avalanche. This one should be quite fun too. Definitely. But let's see exactly how long Hulkling takes to nuke down this Hulkbuster. Right. So Hulkbuster has Aggression Prowess node there as well, but obviously we have Cosmic Avalanche, I believe, and whatnot. So let's see how all of that works out in this situation. Here he has his unblockable 9 Fury buffs. Oof, that was a lot of damage. That was a big special too, and obviously even afterwards he's still dealing a ton of damage, especially when fully synergized up. Aha, but he got all of his buffs nullified. Aye. Come on then, lad. Finish off what you started there. 6 Furies again, and just stupid amount of damage until he gets his buffs nullified. that node can be so frustrating at times. But on the bright side, he finishes it with 100% health. And here we're going to have similar interaction, except he got smacked a bit. Let's move on to the next one. This is Paradox. Once again, I wanted to check out exactly what this fight is. It's Paradox block, entropic aptitude. Okay, so increased buff potency. Sweet. That means that all of the Furies and aptitudes are going to be more potent here based on the amount of Paradox charges, which obviously will mean even bigger numbers as always. That's kind of like one of the things that Act 7 definitely did. It had a lot of path increasing your damage so substantially. It's kind of like borderline cheese. He has 4 Paradox charges, so 120% increased buff potency at this point, 150% increased buff potency, and here he can easily go for 2 Furies, 37, 37, 37, 37k. Not a single, and the 30k medium that does crit. So what is it, 140k special there? And now he has 6, so that's 180% increased buff potency. And let's see how that is going to translate into damage. I'm sure it will. Quite filthy amounts of damage. So he has his unblockable. I think he might be a bit late. Oh, no, he didn't manage. Did he? No, he drops his level 1. Aha, you screwed this one up. He was a slither short of a special 2, but it's okay. He dropped his level 1, got his unblockable. Again, needs to rush to his level 2 whilst the unblockable is active. And there we go. Nice. Not bad. Not bad at all. One thing you guys are going to notice, and just like full disclosure, Hulkling does have quite alright crit rate. It's not the best, it's not the worst, but he does have quite low crit damage, which I actually kind of like because of those Furies. When you don't crit, you already hit super hard, and when you do crit, you're going to notice that the damage difference is quite small compared to an average champion, and that's because of a small critical damage rating, which means that basically there is a less of a difference between when your champion does and does not crit. Some champions have like super high critical damage rating, like Vulture for instance, and that means there's going to be a massive difference whether you do or don't crit. And champions like Hulkling, who just have these massive, attack modifiers and Furies and aptitudes, in this case doesn't have the highest crit damage rating. That's why those crits aren't quite as big as they could be on a different champion, but his basic attack damage is, even if you don't crit, is much, much, much higher. So that has been a rank 4 Hulkling showcase. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And again, do not forget to check out Ebzone, an absolutely amazing company that has helped the channel out greatly and is the best way for you to get in touch with me and send over your gameplay clips as well. And check out Ankit's channel. But that's it for now, and I'm going to catch you guys later. See ya. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the